How is it possible to vanish into thin air while physically talking to another person? This is the strange disappearance of Brandon Swanson. On May 13, 2008, 19-year-old Brandon attended a couple of parties to celebrate completing his very first year of college at Minnesota West Community and Technical College in Canby, Minnesota. The first party Brandon attended was in Lind, which is about 7 miles from Marshall, Minnesota, where he lived. There, he chatted with friends, had a beer or two, and decided to leave around 10:30 to 11:30 p.m. Friends at this party claimed that Brandon did not seem intoxicated and was very clear-headed. Brandon then went to a party in Canby, which is about 30 miles away from Lind and Marshall. There, he had 1 shot of whiskey and at around midnight decided it was time to go home. And again, his friends stated that at this party, he still did not seem intoxicated. Brandon normally took Highway 68 home. It was a straight shot and he had driven it many times. But on this night, for whatever reason, he decided to take a back road home. At around 1:15 a.m., Brandon drove his Chevrolet Lumina into a ditch and was unable to get out. 30 minutes later, he called his parents asking them to come and pick him up, giving them very specific directions of where exactly he was at and that he was near Lind. His parents, Annette and Brian, stayed on the phone with him until they got to where Brandon said he was, but they couldn't see him. They both agreed to flash their headlights as a signal, but they still couldn't see each other. This was odd as this particular area is super flat and would be easy to see each other. At 2:17 a.m., Brandon, being frustrated that they couldn't find him, tells his parents that he sees Lind's city lights and is just going to walk there to grab a friend. He tells them that he's going to cut through fields to make the walk shorter and is actively describing what he sees, a couple of fences, that he could hear running water, and that he's walking on a gravel road. At around 3:10 a.m., 47 minutes into the phone call with his parents, Brandon yells, "Oh shit," and the call ends. His parents repeatedly try calling him back, but he never answers. They search along Highway 68, but find no trace of him. At 6:30 the next morning, they report Brandon missing to the police, in which they said it wasn't unusual for a young man Brandon's age to stay out all night, and that he, quote, had a right to be missing, end quote. Eventually, police do start looking for him and pull up his cell phone records. Through pings, they found Brandon was actually near Porter when he called his parents, not Lind, like he said, which is about 25 miles away. Upon further investigation, police found Brandon's car about 1.5 miles from Taunton. It was on a gravel road, and because of that, there were no footprints indicating which way Brandon went. Extensive ground and air searches were conducted, but absolutely no trace of Brandon was found. Bloodhounds were brought in and tracked his scent down Country Road 16 onto an abandoned driveway of a farm next to Yellow Medicine River and at one point in the river but getting back out and then leading to a drainage point. There his scent ends. The river was searched for 30 days but turned up absolutely nothing. What Brandon saw that night that made him yell, "Oh shit," remains a mystery. It has now been 13 years and Brandon's disappearance remains unsolved. To this day, Brandon's parents leave their light on in hopes one day he will come back home.
It may disturb you to know that some serial killers have hobbies. In the case of Todd Kohlhepp, that hobby was reviewing Amazon products. He left reviews on things like shovels and tasers and gun accessories, and I'm going to let you guess what he used those for. One review said, "Solid locks, have 5 on a shipping container. Won't stop them, but sure will slow them down till they're too old to care." His last and only surviving victim was found locked in a shipping container on his property. She had been shown the graves of his other victims to keep her in line. He also left a review for a shovel, which said, "Keep in car for when you have to hide the bodies and you left the full-size shovel at home. Does not come with a midget, which would be nice." I don't really get what he was going for with that last line, but the man was a psychopath, who was apparently a big fan of Amazon Prime.
We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why.
God, I wish that you had thought this through before I went and fell in love with you.
You can get addicted to a certain kind of sadness, like resignation to the end, always the end. So when we found that we could not make sense, well, you said that we would still be friends, but I'll admit that I was glad it was over. You didn't have to cut me off, make out like it never happened, that we were nothing. I don't even need your
Let's talk about the disgusting murder of Adrian Jones. His life was filled with nothing but torture. Trust me, this case is going to send you on a roller coaster of emotions, so grab your tissues and prepare yourselves. Adrian was tortured at the hands of Michael and Heather Jones. Michael is his father and Heather was his stepmother. What they did to this little boy was gruesome. And the worst part of it all is that it was recorded for them to rewatch and replay as much as they want. When Adrian wasn't being starved or beaten, he was forced to do crazy things. One of which was standing outside naked in a pool of freezing water in the middle of winter, all throughout the night. And while he was in this pool, his legs were shackled and his hands were cuffed behind his back. And this is a picture of his ankles from being shackled while he was in the pool. When he did spend his nights inside of the house, he was forced to sleep on an inversion table. This is a photo of him actually sleeping on the inversion table. You can see right here, I can't even point to it, but up here, his arms are like above his head. So he's sleeping strapped down to the table with his arms above his head. They had put cutting boards on his chest and back, so he was forced to stand up straight all the time. His lips, they look like this because he was trying to chew through the cutting boards to free himself from his torture. There's even a video where he was forced to sleep outside and you can tell that he's shackled to the ground, so he can only go a certain distance. In this picture taken from one of the videos, he was forced to carry tiki sticks. The sad part about it is that during the video, you can hear his mom saying, "Look at Adrian, he's an animal. Look how he's doing this and look how he's doing that." And one of his 6 siblings who were younger than him, who were all girls at that, was like, "That's so disgusting. Adrian is dirty." And I'm not blaming her at all, but you can kind of see how his parents were treating him. They had about 30 cameras littered around the house in every room, including the bathroom and inside the shower. So all of these pictures come from screenshots taken from the computer from the surveillance videos, or either pictures that they took themselves. They even would shove a bar of soap down Adrian's throat and put a hot plate of food in front of him to make sure that he wasn't going to eat it. They had alarms on their refrigerator to make sure it sounded in case he was trying to sneak food. Here's another picture of Adrian. The dark spots that you see running down his face, that's blood. I put the picture in black and white so it wouldn't get taken down. In the shower is where Adrian died. He was forced into the shower and there was no way that he could leave. When Adrian passed, they waited 2 weeks. They bought pigs and starved them for 2 weeks to make sure that the pigs would eat his body. The worst part of it all is that the case was reported to CPS. They knew exactly what was happening.
So traumatized, it makes me wanna cry. You dumb motherfucker, I loved you, I loved you, I loved you, it's true. I wanted to be you and do what you do. I lived here, I loved here, I bought it, it's true. I feel so stupid and so abused.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Where do you think I learned all this shit
It's just a cigarette and it cannot be that bad.
Honey, don't you love me and you know it makes me sad?